Trojan Sports Now.
Welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. Let's jump into football's upcoming matchup with New Mexico State. The Trojans are now 2-1 after taking down Southern Miss in a nail-biter, but the Trojans can't bask in that win for too long as an improved team is coming in. Jahmal Kennedy has more.
It's my expectation that we'll have a really good crowd here at Veterans Stadium on Saturday night for a 6 p.m. kickoff.
That's right, Trojan fans. It's time for the men of Troy to return home after 2 weeks of playing on the road. But you can never overlook your upcoming opponent.
I don't think I've ever been involved in a football game that the score was further from what happened on the field as far as actual play than last year. We win the game going away, but we didn't play. They dropped probably 4 touchdowns.
Coach Neil Brown has tremendous respect for the play caller on the New Mexico State sideline and realizes the defense will have their hands full.
Offensively, Doug Martin, their head coach, calls their plays, and I think he does a great job mixing up runs, passes, gives different looks each week. But our defense, they've got a challenge in front of them, and we've got to be more consistent. We've got to get better against the pass game. But Tyler Rogers, their quarterback, is going to challenge us.
But just as New Mexico State has an offense to be respected, Troy has a player of their own that Coach Brown will run his offense through.
I think that Jordan Chun's been our best player on offense without any question. I don't even know if there's a conversation about that. So we're going to rely heavily on him. We're starting to figure out who we are as an offensive unit, and he's going to lead the way.
Coach Brown says don't let the performance of New Mexico State's defense last week fool you, as they are attacking more and giving up fewer points this season.
Last week's a little bit deceiving because of special teams and some turnovers gave them some short fields, but an improved unit. Special teams, their specialists are playing real well. Their kicker has 12 touchbacks, and their punter's done a nice job flipping the field position.
Jahmal Kennedy, Trojan Sports Now.
Head coach Neil Brown and his team return to the home field this weekend for the first conference game of the season on Saturday against New Mexico State. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m.
Head coach Jason Hamilton is asking his team for more after tying last Sunday in a home match with Arkansas State. He's looking for players to step up, and they will have to do so with a streaky team coming in.
Every year they're a team that surprises some teams with their results, and sometimes gets surprised. So I think they've been hot and cold throughout the last couple of years, but they've got the talent there to be very successful. I think they've got some good athletes. They've got some dangerous threats offensively, and they've got a good goalkeeper and some good athletes in the back. So they're a team that, just like every team in our conference, if you don't show up and compete, you could give the game away. And I think if we don't show up and compete against them, it'll be definitely a team that would be happy to take the win and go home.
He and his team will take the home field again this Sunday at 1 p.m. against Louisiana Lafayette.
And it's not going to be an easy one for the Trojan volleyball team as they'll face off against an experienced Texas State team coming in, a team that has also beaten a team that the Trojans have lost to just recently. Hope springs eternal in this opening autumn season as the Trojans return home for competition.
Texas State's really good. We lost to Portland in 5. They beat Portland in 3. So at any point they can be really, really good, or then they've lost some matches that they really probably shouldn't have. Good team, well coached, very experienced. I think they have 6 or 7 seniors on their roster, and they pull people in and out. So it's a challenge because you've got to be ready for 14, 15 players per match and kind of know what they do. So it's a lot of film study on our part, making sure that if someone comes in the match, we kind of know what they're going to try to do.
The Trojans will take the home court again this Friday against Texas State at 6 p.m.
The Friday night won't be the only competition the Trojans get this weekend. They'll also host another team from Texas for conference play as well. Head coach Senator Kirkpatrick explains.
UT Arlington is another solid team. All the Texas teams have an advantage with all the area that they can compete in, and playing the matches that they play. It's really good. It gets them prepared for conference play.
Sunday at noon in Trojan Arena, the Trojans will take on the Mavericks of UT Arlington.
Now, the cross-country team didn't run last weekend, but they used it to get some practice in on their own course, which they'll be racing on for the first time this weekend. And last week, head coach Elliott Blount shared his excitement, and here he is to also give a layout of the competition as well.
Home meet, the 24th. 10 o'clock start for the women, 10:45 start for the men, 5K and 8K respectively. We'll get some people out on that course. Conference competition in Georgia State there. So we're going to be able to, after this week of training and the following week leading into that meet of training, I think we'll have a better handle on where we are in our fitness, and then hopefully that will produce a better result.
The Trojan Cross Country Invitational will take place down in Dothan on Saturday.
The Troy men's golf team will return to play on October 17th, where they will set their sights on the Autotrader.com Collegiate Classic in Duluth, Georgia.
The Troy women's golf team will return to action on October 3rd, where they'll hit the greens at the Johnny Imes Invitational in Missouri.
And that's all the time that we have for Trojan Sports Now. Check us out online at youtube.com/Troy Trojan Vision to catch anything you missed.
Jahmal Kennedy, I'm Ryan Renfrow. Thanks for joining us. And as always,
Go Trojans.
Trojan Sports Now.